How's it going, everybody? If you, like myself, are a huge fan of the original 2005 Resident Evil 4, then today I want to sit down and talk to you guys about what is the absolute, hands-down best way to play it in 2026. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So let's start off by answering a very basic question, and that is going to be what platform you should be playing the game on. As of 2026, you have a lot of different options for playing the game. You can play it on PC, you can play it on Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, you can play it on PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch 1 and 2, and if you're more behind, you can play it on PS3, Xbox 360, even the Nintendo Wii, or if you're really tied to the classics, then you can sit there and play it on PS2 and GameCube. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the PS2, GameCube, Wii, Xbox 360, PS3, and I believe even the PS4 version can all also be played on PC using an emulator. But when it comes to actually answering the question, then I'm gonna have to go with PC. And in this video, I'm about to show you exactly why that is.
Alright, so perhaps the biggest reason why I say that you should be playing this game on PC is because of the modding capability, and of course this is true for just about any games where you can play it on PC or console. But perhaps the most important mod you can download right here is going to be the Resident Evil 4 HD project. This mod right here is actually going to be two mods in one download, and essentially what you'll do is you'll go to RE4HD.com, as you can see here, or I'll have a link in the description where you can just go to it directly, where you'll scroll down and you'll see direct download. You can either download through Mega or Mediafire. I typically recommend going through Mediafire. And now, I think if you have like the pro version of Mediafire, you can hit this check mark and just download the whole folder. But if you're a free user like myself, then you'll have to open everything from HD Project 1.1 all the way down to the bottom here where it says setup-9. Literally everything from here to here, you will need to open up in separate tabs and download each of them. And when you download each of them, you should end up having a folder like this where you can see all of the bin files. These are all the setup bins. And then you'll have the RE4 HD project setup. And then essentially what you do once you have it all installed is once you have it all downloaded, you'll double click on RE4 HD project setup. Look at this window right here. And then I actually think when you download all this, you get it in like one big zip file where you have to type in RE4 HD project to unlock it. And then what you'll do is you'll hit next, hit I accept the agreement, hit next again. And then while you're at this page, you must check this box right here. Download an up-to-date version of RE4 Tweaks. This is that second mod I was talking about, and it's insanely useful for the game. Then you can hit next, and then it'll have you install it. Then, once you've installed it, you'll need to download one more thing. You gotta come over here to ntcore.com/4GB patch. This is kind of a general app that you can use for modding older games, where basically if you have too many mods installed, the game would crash. So you would need the 4GB patch app right here to do it. So what you do is you download the 4GB patch, and then what would happen is you'll find where you have it downloaded, and you can just open it. And then once you open it, it's literally going to have you select your game. And so to find your game, you'd have to go to this PC. All right, go to your program files x86, go to Steam, go to Steam Apps, go to Common, and then go to Resident Evil 4. And you go to bin 32, and you'll double click on bio4.exe, and it's going to apply that 4GB patch. Like I said, that's just going to make it so that your game no longer crashes when you have all these mods downloaded. And now, a fun fact about RE4 Tweaks, if you don't want to sit there and have to download each and every file for the RE4 HD project, you could go to Nexus Mods and just download RE4 Tweaks right here. All right, but I mean, to be honest, you might as well just get the HD project while you're at it, because then you can have a really beautiful looking game while also having all these fixes. Also, one thing I need to show you, once you have installed the RE4 HD project and you've also installed RE4 Tweaks, what you can do is you can go to your program files, x86, go on over to Steam, go to Steam Apps, and then go to Common. And then once you go to Resident Evil 4 and bin32, you'll also see these files all right here, like RE4 tweaks, dinput 8, a bunch of dinput 8s. If you open the dinput8.ini, these are actually all settings that you need. So these are actually all settings for RE4 tweaks. And some of these settings don't actually pop up in the little in-game menu that you can open. So what I would do is before you even launch the game, take a look at all these. As you can see, the way you activate certain things is by typing in true or deactivating them by typing in false. Like I said, there are some settings that will not pop up in the in-game menu, so I would say it's imperative to scroll through here first and activate whatever you think needs to be activated before hopping in the game. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop in the game and check everything out. So right off rip, depending on how familiar with the game you are, you may not notice much of a difference, but if you are very familiar with the game, then you will notice that everything, like all the text here and the pictures in the background, are going to be much higher quality, and that is kind of your clear sign that the RE4 HD project was able to install. But let's go ahead and actually hop into a game so we can check out the HD project as well as checking out the RE4 tweaks. And in case you can't already tell, or if you couldn't tell before, now you can definitely tell that the HD project was able to be installed. We're gonna hop out here. Yeah, as you can see, all the textures here are very clear. We've never had the game look like this. So ultimately, really nice mod right here. But that's just the visual mod. Let's actually go ahead and check out the HD. Let's go ahead and check out the RE4 tweaks. To check this out, all you gotta do is you gotta hit F1, and you're gonna get this little menu right here on your screen. And then what this is all these different options that you can change to configure the game with different things. For when it comes to like display, audio, and like just all the different settings, a lot of this stuff is really whatever you choose to use. But if there's one thing I will highly recommend, it's going to be over in the mouse tab where you can select use mouse turning and then set it to type B. All right. For comparison here, normally you can only move like this. You got to use A and D, and as you can see, you move really freaking slowly. It's kind of hard to move around, and then you got to press Q to do a 180. All right, it can get kind of stupid, especially if you got to like turn really tight corners. But with use mouse turning, as you can see, I can just move my mouse, and I turn a lot faster than this game ever intended to be. So like, here's a normal 180 degree turn. All right, now here's one with the mouse. As you can see, I can just snap my character around with ease, which makes movement really crazy. I mean, normally using the A and D keys, you can't even, like, this is me trying to run circles in this hallway. And then here's me using my mouse. As you can see, I can move a lot sharper than this game ever intended. Now, what we can do is we can actually combine that with another feature of the RE4 tweaks, where you'll come over to Trainer and click on Hotkeys and Enable Weapon Hotkeys. The way this is going to work once you have it enabled is you'll open up your inventory, and on all of your weapons, you'll just go ahead and number them how you want them. So for the shotgun, I'll do 1. For the hand cannon, I'll do 2. And all I'm doing is I'm pressing the number on my keyboard. Chicago typewriter, I'll do 3. Infinite launcher, 4. And PRL 412, 5. So now when I am in game and I hit 1, bam, I'm at the shotgun. 2, hand cannon. 3, Chicago typewriter. 4, infinite launcher. And 5, PRL 412. And if y'all are familiar with the Ditman glitch, then you'll know normally what you have to do is you have to aim the striker, and before the laser shows up, you switch to a different gun. And now, as you can see, Leon moves a little faster. Well, with the hotkeys, you can still perform this glitch by just aiming and swapping your weapon. Obviously, you still gotta do it before the laser shows up, but now I still have that Ditman glitch applied, and I didn't even have to do the whole inventory thing. So unfortunately, I did have to recover from my shot right there, otherwise I could have run away from that axe a little bit faster. Let me give you an example of being able to move around with that mouse turning. As you can see, he couldn't even hit me. Come around over here. So he's tried to swing on me, and she misses. Gonna come on over here, see what we can do here. No, well, I didn't run away far enough, so he still got me. We'll try As you can see, I can just run laps around these guys. Now, sadly, they can still turn around and hit you, like if you try to run beside them. But if you do a quick little turnaround, easy as hell to run away. Now, with the trainer, you do have access to a lot of other features, which I'll go over quickly with you. Here, the first option in display is using the Vulkan renderer, which is nicer if you're on more of a newer computer, like I think most people are. It just makes the game run a little smoother, although it can be kind of prone to crashing, so be careful with it. I've had instances where I made it very far in the game and I didn't save, and then it just crashed all because I was using the Vulkan renderer. So be careful with that. Here, there's the FOV additional. This 20 seems good for most cases, because if I put it down to 0, you can see this is how the game normally looks. As you can see, pretty zoomed in. It's kind of weird to think the game normally looks like this, but then you can slide out to 20, get yourself a little more field of view so you can see more things around you. If you really want to, damn, you can slide that bitch all the way up to 50. Look at this shit. I can see everything around me. Ain't nothing hiding from me now. Yeah, I'll just stick to the good old 20. Then you can disable the VSync, which I think most people who play games know you should have VSync disabled. You have some other little ones that don't really do much. Obviously, you can override the laser color, which I have it set to rainbow laser. And basically what that does is when I aim my gun, as you can see, my laser is changing colors. And there's audio. This one's got a couple little things. You can change the overall volume of everything individually. You can also silence Ashley's armor suit, which is really nice. And of course, there's the mouse stuff, which I'd highly recommend having use mouse turning on instead of the type B, as well as that camera improvements. And their use raw mouse input. Pretty much everything on here you should have selected, except for detached camera from aim. That one doesn't really matter. Then keyboard, as you can see, it doesn't really have many options, but you can make it so you can reload your weapons without having to aim, which is pretty cool. Then there's the controller. So this one's actually kind of cool. If you do play on a controller, you can obviously change the dead zones so the game is a little bit more responsive. You can override the controller sensitivity, because I'm sure you guys already know if you play with a controller that the normal camera sensitivity is pretty slow, so it's nice being able to just turn that up without needing to since you can't normally change the controller settings. And there's smooth analog turning, which is also pretty nice, so you can also turn your character with the right stick like in Resident Evil 5. There's frame rate options. Pretty much everything here should be fixed or should be selected. There's gameplay. Here you have options like you can choose professional mode when doing separate ways. You can sell the handgun silencer if you happen to get one. Here I have one where I can disable the QuickTime events and automatic mashing QuickTime events. I will say I've had problems with the automatic mashing one where it didn't actually automatically mash anything. There's miscellaneous. Alright, really nothing crazy here. There's memory, hotkeys, and trainer. And overall, that's just a quick little view of what everything you can do with RE4 tweaks. Obviously, if you download it and give it a shot, you can see all the other settings that it has to offer for yourself. But that is going to do it for this video. Just want to give you guys a quick look and show you what is easily the best way to play the classic Resident Evil 4 in 2026, and probably for the rest of time. So with that, if you enjoyed, please leave a like on the video and subscribe if you have not subscribed already. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.